And we'll go live. What are we calling this? D&D to kill a would-be god?
Yeah.
Gad. And we're doing this. Is Dungeons and Dragons a thing? Of course it is. D&D 5e, D&D to kill a would-be god.
All right, gents. So
we're live.
Yep. Just to kind of recap, we finished up. Well, most of you have finished up the Ravenloft campaign. So your characters are at 10th level. Some of you chose to roll those characters over from Ravenloft. Some of you had chosen to kill your characters off or just get rid of them, make them disappear. And new characters are joining the group as well. So Eldorn and Paleth are the rollovers, and everybody else is basically new. So you guys emerged from the woods. You found yourself encountering a goblin ambush on the road, and you were able to save a Sylvester Sagamore, who is one of the, not necessarily a lord, but a well-trusted official in the town of Stormford. And so Sylvester invited you back to his home to serve as his guard slash help in his manor that is outside of Stormford. Of course, everybody on the road was slaughtered, so he kind of needed some help. So you guys have agreed to take a little bit of time. You really haven't done a terrible much of fighting. Every once in a while, you kind of traveled the road with Sylvester or did odd-end jobs for him. So you've kind of started to learn the town, but still very much you're outsiders. And you know that. Everybody reminds you of that every time you go into someplace new and different. One thing about the world that you find yourself in is that there's not a lot of non-humans. And so Paleth, especially being a Goliath cleric, gets a lot of strange looks. And Eldorn continues to kind of hide himself. And then Yana, being a half-elf or a halfling, he doesn't really show himself too much, or if he does, he kind of scurries around the corner, and most people kind of think that it's just a kid running around. So
kid with a beard.
Yeah, kid with a beard. So so you do know that the world is somewhat, I guess, racist, just because of their inexperience with the other races, if that makes sense. So Sylvester, though, has proven to be a very generous host and very wise, and is actually a very curious man. And so he's always kind of asking you questions about where you've come from, what your interests are. The whole Ravenloft experience has been a big fascination for Sylvester. And so he has kind of taken you in under his wing and protected you. So if you look at the map that I shared with you, this is the area of Stormford that is at the southern tip of Horseshoe Island, which is in the middle of this island archipelago that is fairly cold. It's off the coast of the Forgotten Realms on the north coast. So it's fairly cold and chilly. And so it's a fairly primitive area. Stormford is probably, as far as you can tell, the most developed area of the whole archipelago. Everywhere else is kind of a backwater, but Stormford has actually started to kind of develop into an actual town. That being said, it's still only got like maybe 20,000 people. Not very big at all. And then the surrounding towns are probably even smaller. You guys are located in Stormford currently. You have traveled to Oak Mill, and you know that it's a very much a backwater area. It's probably a village of less than 1,000 people, and it is named Oak Mill because it's in the middle of a forest and wood is milled there, especially the oak. So you know that that's where a lot of travel goes from. Waverly Dock at the south there. You've heard of it. You've never been there. There doesn't seem to be a ton of travel to that area. People typically come from there, or if they come from Waverly Dock, they usually sail. So this area, being an archipelago, is very heavily sailed and traveled by boat. Up in the mountains, you can see a town called Copper Crest. That is actually a town that obviously harvests a lot of copper. They do a lot of mining up there. You'll find some dwarves up there that have moved into town and are actually working those mines, or maybe even charge of those mines. So those are kind of the main areas that you know that the eastern woods and the far woods have kind of grown a little more unfriendly. And the eastern woods is especially becoming unfriendly, and you know that it's the goblins have just been going crazy there. And so everybody is having to get guards for their shipments from Oak Mill and Coppercrest and all that area. So nobody travels the road by themselves on that unless they're a powerful fighter themselves and able to hold their own. So the lore is that Stormford is run by King Rhaegar. The king is getting old, and he is actually pretty ailing because of an old fight that he had with a red dragon. So he kind of came to fame, him and his lords around him, because they were able to fight off this red dragon that came from Broken Mountain. And Broken Mountain is a volcano, and while the dragon was alive, Sour was his name, it was an active volcano. But once Sour died, then the volcano died. And so there's only just the wisp of smoke that comes from the mountain anymore. So his claim to fame is killing Sour, but he was heavily wounded in that same and never able to recover. But you get the sense that people still love him and trust him, and that his lords seem to be take care of him and make sure that he's not hurt as well. So it's a fairly happy and docile town. It's just that the eastern woods have kind of come alive recently, and so that's concerning for the Lord and for Stormford, especially in the area. So that kind of gives you a background on the town itself. I'll pop up the town map. So this is Stormford. You can see that Rhaegar's keep is there on the island in the middle. And so Rhaegar is able to make his money by basically building these bridges across the river. And so any goods that are being shipped out have to flow through the town, and that's how he's able to tax. And so you have the oceanside docks, seaside docks, and then you have the riverside docks. And so the goods travel through the town. So it's basically how he's able to keep most of his money. The town sits on the eastern side of the river, and Sagamore's manor, excuse me, is actually the farthest manor to the east there. And so that's where you've spent most of your time, is working in that area, helping Sagamore do whatever he's asking you to do, which isn't a lot. It's mostly just kind of talking to him and him writing stuff down and having conversations with you. So you've had ample time to recover your strength from your adventure, and that's kind of where you're at. So what I'd like you to do is kind of go back and introduce or reintroduce your characters to each other and myself, if you could. So, Rolento, you want to start off?
Oh, you're gonna ask me. I'm still trying to remember everything. All right, Rolento is a very charismatic, roguish sort of character. He's his wit and confidence is just about as great, if not greater, than his sword skills on the battlefield. He's very confident with his skills with a rapier, and he proved that in the first battle when he met the other characters. He has been employed here for quite some time as a bodyguard at the Sagamore Manor, if I remember correctly. And he's begrudgingly agreed to work alongside these ruffians that just appeared in the woods one day, and he had to rescue from a band of ogres and goblins.
Sounds good. Has he been working on any particular skills in the last year that people might have noticed? Or
He's always working on his swordplay. He's always boasting about how proficient and great he is with a sword. So he's been working on bettering himself in combat and making himself even harder to pin down, and just so he can improve his skills at dancing around the battlefield around his opponents.
all right, sounds good. Anything else for Rolento?
No, that's it for Relento.
All right. How about Paleth?
Paleth is a Goliath, an outsider, a wanderer. Paleth has great skill in survival, knows religion, is perceptive and insightful, and strong. And Paleth is good, worships Torm. He's a cleric and a servant of Torm. And he would like to crush evil. And he's not particularly good at parties.
So, would you say that Paleth has enjoyed this time off, or has been bored, or upset, or angry, or?
We haven't killed enough evil.
Has Paleth been working on anything in the interim?
I'd like to start a church.
Okay.
In fact, if does the town have a church of Torm by chance?
I don't know. I have to look at my map again.
Can't even remember what Torm is. I think he's a god of like justice or something.
Let's see. So one thing to remember is the out here is a mix of Forgotten Realm deities and then also the Norse pantheon.
I could be wrong, but I think we were discussing this months ago when we first brought this campaign up, and you might have mentioned there was one on the Dwarven side. For some reason, that sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it probably is. I don't see one in town, so.
Okay. Well, he would be looking for a site to start one then.
Okay, you probably had to build like a little shrine or something at the manor, which Sagamore allowed you to do.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
But
he'll start there and try and get followers.
Since you're 9 foot tall and an outsider, with a bubbly personality.
Yeah. No. It's going to be it's going to be slow going for sure.
Yeah. You haven't had a ton of church goers.
He's not knocking the cover off the ball.
Yeah. He's not up for promotion. How's that?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Good. Anything else on Paleth?
Nope. He's just all around fun guy.
All right. Pretz, are you able to speak to your character at all at this point? I know you're still building them.
Yeah. So basically, he went to a quote unquote school of wizardry, but it was actually a kind of experimental place that messed with people's minds to kind of bring out the arcane. So he came out a little crazy he lies often about where he got his magic. He'll make up stories about his like what school he went to. So nobody really believes much of anything he says about his personal life or like where he came from, because he's like given each and every one of you different stories on how he grew up, and he's just sort of wandering. He studies religion to sort of look at it as if there's as if it's foolish. He wants to learn about it to be like, oh, that's silly. So he studies arcane and religion, but for different reasons. Other than that, he's human. That's it.
That's all.
He's normal compared to the rest of the world.
I
Not
think
like these freaks.
Sorry, I think it's important to note that this is also a high level campaign. We're starting at level 10.
That's right.
This is not a level 1 newbie work your way up through fighting bunnies and goblins. We are seasoned adventurers.
That's right. You've killed Strahd, at least a couple of you, and
yeah, a few of us.
So you're at level 10.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Pretz specializes in evocation and likes to quote unquote blow shit up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say Pretz specializes in killing Strahd.
He'd like to think he was there.
All right, good. So what has Pretz kind of been working on? Is he a private guy? Is he been doing stuff that people can kind of notice around the manor that he kind of is working on in the last year or so?
You can see him reading a lot of like strange tomes, usually sort of like the fringe areas of the arcane arts.
Okay.
The weird stuff that people are like experimenting on. He likes to like craft. He's trying to like craft his own spells, but he's not very good at it so far. And then he also has all these like books on religion just to read up on and be like, that's silly.
All right. So yeah, Sylvester probably likes having him around to have a different conversation about those sorts of things. And he is obviously going to share his library, which is one of the better stacked libraries.
Excellent.
In Stormford. So yeah, you've kind of landed in a good spot. So good. Anything else from Pretz?
Nothing yet. Should I just go off of like the handbook for like suggested amounts of gold at certain levels or anything like that, and spells as well?
Whatever you like.
Oh, and we also start with a magic item, right?
Yeah, which I haven't given you any yet, so you can think about that.
Did you want us to remove any of the stuff we had from Strahd?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the advantage of carrying your character over from Strahd. You get to kind of keep that junk.
Unless you're a werewolf.
Yeah, unless you're a werewolf. So, alrighty. Yona.
So, Yona, who I'm playing, hails from Neverwinter. He is a learned botanist over in a university there. And he was hired by the Lord of the Manor to increase productivity of his crops. And as of late in the past year, he's an ambitious, happy fellow. He likes to spread the love, as it were. So he ran around against people's wishes, trespassing on lawns and whatnot, and constantly running away from the authorities, but making everybody's lives just a little bit better with a lot of druid magic, making all the plants grow twice as big because he likes doing weird things with magic.
Gotcha.
Does
he have a particular deity that he ascribes to?
He is Eldath.
Eldath.
Goddess of nature and beauty or something like that.
Right.
Life and nature, that's what it was.
Old weird Uncle Eldath.
Yeah. It's not
Mistress
anus.
Yeah, I decided to go against the
So anus.
Savaniness.
That was a inside joke from yesterday's conversation.
So I have long conversations of why I shouldn't be doing all this running around and making everybody's lives better with the Lord of the Manor, but Yona doesn't care.
Okay.
And that was his extra feat, was squat nimbleness, so he can quickly get away from angry farmers that don't know what's better for them.
Gotcha. All right. So that's what Yona's been doing in the meantime. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we need to know about Yona?
It's kind of hard to make him upset.
Okay.
Rolento will try. Constantly.
Okay. Good. And then
Well, if your
Eldor.
private parts ever decide to grow flowers, you know where it came from.
Ay, ay, ay. Eldorn is a high elf, although you wouldn't be able to tell. He's actually keeps a dark cloak over him, and he's got a platinum mask on that he
Oh yeah.
won in combat from a vampire a while back, which is beneficial here because he's an elf in a town of humans.
Yeah. He's an emo high elf.
Yeah, he's an emo high elf. He struggled while in this land of Strahd with, whatever his, he's a warlock, so whatever his being of power wasn't really there. He was shooting eldritch blasts everywhere and always missing. So when
He had
when
seasonal
Strahd
affective
finally
disorder.
when Strahd finally fell and he was kind of gazing into the mist or whatever, he came in contact with the Queen of Darkness, the Raven Queen, and made a pact with her. So now, and in this year that we've been here, you see him wielding a longsword all the time, and he's like making the longsword disappear and then reappear in his hand. He's practicing swinging it. You'll see him actually teleporting himself away into the trees or whatnot, speaking, with the shadows in the forest, and being kind of a kind of dark and brooding emo figure.
Yona can confirm. He has never get through to him.
So, you did. Paleth didn't get like a Facebook notice about you going over to the dark side, did he?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I was letting you build your church while I was off in the shadows of the forest.
All right. Paleth is going to be struggling a little bit here.
I'm sure.
There's
Raven
been
Queen.
some Raven Queen signs scrolled on your graffiti.
Yeah, and we got another guy over there who's like a pathological liar. This is gonna be rough.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. All right. Well, we also have Ivar Bloodaxe, who is not able to join us this evening on this quest. He might join us later, but he is a human bard. He's also 10th level. He is very good with his hands and very skilled. And his time off, he's been making a ship that Sylvester has commissioned. And so that's the main reason that Ivar has found himself in the employ of Sylvester. So, yeah, I think that pretty much rounds it off. So do you guys have any questions for me that you might want to ask just about the world and Stormford? Is there any curiosities out there that you might want answers to before we kind of move on?
What's the military structure here?
So military structure, there's definitely some guards that obviously take care of the town. And then there is kind of the praetorium or the castle guard. And so those are real true warriors. And so you can work your way up into the castle guard. But the city guard is kind of your standard city
It's like
dudes.
local cops and state police.
Local cops / like full-time military. That's more the difference. So
Okay. And then is it a duke or what? Who's running the castle?
everybody calls him king. He would actually kind of be an earl, but since there's no one really around to fight him or anything. There's no real places of wealth here, so he's really the only earl in this area, and so everybody just kind of has started calling him king, particularly after he killed Sal. Everybody kind of knows that. The other towns and stuff in the area, they might have a mayor if they have anything.
So it's pretty feudal.
Very feudal and pretty almost frontierish in its thing. So like you go out and like things are just starting to get developed. So think of like, early Ohio, Indiana, after the Revolutionary War. They moved out and started chopping down the forest and harvesting the resources in that area. So that's kind of the world you find yourself in.
And how xenophobic are they?
They are they're always extremely suspicious of other races because they just don't encounter them. And so there's some folks who are very against it. There's some places that they don't really allow people into there. Paleth can probably push his way into anywhere. Yona, you typically have to sneak in there, and Eldorn is too broody to go anyplace fun, so it doesn't matter.
How can they possibly be afraid of Yona?
That's why you've got Relento.
Well, see, they always think that you're a kid, and then when they discover that you're not a kid, then that freaks them out.
Can always just say that I'm a human, just born short.
A little person.
Yeah, that would make you even weirder.
Or stunted his growth. Wasn't there dwarves in the north that were running a mine and doing trading?
Yep. So, all right. Any other questions?
Wasn't there dwarves to the north who were running a mine and setting up trade with Stormford?
So that's not actually in this area. You have some dwarfs who are here, but the main dwarven stronghold is actually to the southwest on a different island.
Oh.
So I can't just claim to be a thin dwarf.
No.
I'm a sickly dwarf.
So, Aaron, if Paleth has downtime when he's not doing anything, he would basically just want to accompany patrols or groups of armed men and heal them and protect them. And then he would be proselytizing about the virtues of Torm, about protection and honor and loyalty and all the values of Torm. Basically, Torm's the god of war, so
sure.
He's going to go where the blood is.
Yeah, and so I would say that you probably was able to easily push into a couple of those trips to Oak Mill, but then your proselytizing and your big build constantly kind of intimidated them, and so what you ended up doing was just kind of hanging outside of the front of Sylvester's manor. And like whenever you saw a group passing by, like you just kind of pushed your way in and joined them.
Well, how did they feel about me once they got attacked and I started saving lives? Were they happier?
They were still kind of scared of you because you're just so big.
Okay.
And
out of the norm.
they appreciate the healing, but they really think that ultimately, you're like trying to take their soul somehow.
Wow. Because if I had a chance to fight, I would have,
Oh yeah. Nobody wants to even come near you because they know if they scratch the surface a little bit and piss you off enough, you're going to.
Well, I'm not an angry, lawful.
They don't know that. They see
a
giant bear.
Yeah, yes. So you're the classic. You don't know how intimidating you are, sort of dude. You're 9 foot tall. And 300 pounds of muscle with at least one weapon that is the thigh bone of someone.
Some saint.
Yeah. So
it's a saint's thigh bone. I mean, it's a bone, but it's a saintly bone.
Yeah.
But I would think they'd be more worried about the two-handed sword.
Yeah. They're just kind of worried about you in general. It's not just
Okay.
one
All
thing.
right.
They're
Well,
worried
I'll
about
try.
you.
I will try my best not to offend anybody, but I understand.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, you have Yona in the woods doing real evil.
That's right. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Those are good ones.
No, not at this time.
Oh, let's go out and get in trouble.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, you all are gathered together for dinner one evening, and you're all kind of sharing stories or talking up, and it's mostly Rolento doing the talking, and so everybody's just pretty much ignoring him at this point because they know him. But you find that Sylvester comes in kind of with a long face. Like he's typically a pretty cheery dude, pretty happy. But he comes in and he's sad tonight. He not completely sad, but just very concerned to the point that you've never really seen him this way before. So he kind of sits down and packs his pipe and gets an ale from one of the servants and sits there quietly. And you guys kind of sit there quietly as well. And it's unusual because typically he's pretty cheery. So this is kind of the scene that I'm setting before you. You guys are at dinner. You know that there's a pail over the dinner. And even the mouse, Sylvester's mouse, looks sad. So how would you guys like to play this out?
What's
I'd
the
like to
mouse's
talk
name?
to the mouse.
Yeah.
What's the mouse's name?
Yeah.
Mickey.
Oh, of course. Wait,
Duh.
Tony the Tiger in the last one. Now we got Mickey Mouse.
That's right. It's easy to remember.
So we all notice. We see that he's visibly upset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rolento will see that the people that he's regaling with his tales of glory are not really listening to him. So he grabs his ale and he heads on over and he goes, "Hey, Sly, what's with such a long face?"
Are you saying this loud enough that everybody's kind of hearing this?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You don't have a quiet button.
No.
So. Okay. He says, "Well, I traveled to seeing Lord Rhaegar, and he's very concerned about the East Woods and the goblins. Of course, most of you came into my employee because you helped us at that, and even helped you, Rolo, out of a hard spot. And so you know that we've had trouble with the goblins there, but they've gotten worse. And so there was an important shipment that was headed to Oak Mill that had various tools and equipment for Oak Mill to use so that they could continue to produce the needed wood for the vessels that Rhaegar's building for his shipping and stuff in the area. And so those tools were actually taken. That shipment never made it to Oak Mill, and there's a rumor that it was actually captured and destroyed on the way. And so Rhaegar has tasked me to ask my servants if they would be willing to go over and find the shipment and put an end to the goblin raids, because the lords of the land and the king have deemed it necessary at this point to free the woods, the eastern woods, of this goblin threat.
Who are these servants you speak of?
Why you, my sir?
Aren't goblins a little below us?
I think I'm a hireling. Peerleth goes back to check his status.
Well,
no,
goblins
no.
are pretty destructive at
My-
nature to all settlements. Doesn't
Well-
matter how evolved or how high up you think you are. You should probably take care of them before
Wait.
they do real harm.
Do we have an idea of numbers?
Clearly,
Well,
Rolento himself equals 10 goblins.
Oh, easily. That's why I need to know how many we're up against here, so that make sure it's worth our while.
indeed, your typical goblins are not that hard to take care of, but as you know, there's quite a few of them, and they have ogres working with them, which is unusual. We've never heard of that in this area.
Okay,
Of ogres
Paleth
and
perks up when you
goblins.
say ogres. He's interested. Ogres?
Yes.
Hmm.
Sylvester says yes, ogres, and I am sad to see my private chaplain leave this place, even for a moment. But working the roads, that the goblin threat is very real, and that ogres are working with them, and so this is a real threat. And the king is very afraid to lose any of his city guard or his castle guard, because the threat seems to have grown so great. The number of goblins seems to be such that he can't spare any, because he's afraid that the goblins might actually attack the town.
Well, I for one would be happy to help, but have they offered us anything? Because Paleth has something he would like.
And what is that, sir?
I would like a place in the town to make a church. So I would gladly fight ogres, but perhaps we could get a agreement that when upon the completion of putting down the ogres, I could have a church in town.
Well, I'm not for sure if the town folks and the lords would like it in the town, but I could talk to the king. He's if he's unwilling to do that, then I would certainly allow you to build a church here on this premise. And
Where
allow
are we
you
here?
to
Where's
do
this
that.
house? Where's this place?
His is the far eastern manor. If you hover over the map, there should be like little coins, and like
Yeah.
they'll come up.
There's little
With
numbers
the,
on it.
Okay, so is it near the Old Owl Tavern? Or that's Old Owl
It's
Tavern?
even farther east than that.
It's B, I believe. Sagamore
Or
Manor.
G.
Is it B or G? I don't.
I think that's a fancy G.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
oh,
very
yeah.
last
Let's see.
I got
farm or house on the right hand side.
Yes,
Paleth,
it is directly east of the Old Owl Tavern.
Paleth nods and thanks you, and does not hide his disappointment, as only an 8 charisma could fail to do. And he says, church is better than no church, but I'd like to have it in the city, or in the town. People won't walk this far.
Indeed, and perhaps if you continue to do the good work that you've already done in my service, that you'll gain the trust of the town people and the local lords. They will welcome you into the city.
Well, Paleth, this job is for Lord Rygar himself. Maybe we make this part of the deal with the Lord.
Okay, so is that who's talking now?
Rolento.
Yeah, Rolento. He likes Rolento, I would think, and he just points at you and nods. He says, "You make the deal. You're better at the words."
Oh, okay. Well, you cut me in on your share of the loot, and I'll put in a good word for you with the Lord.
You get me my church. He wags his finger at you.
Yes. Exchange of money, and you'll have your church. Yes.
Okay, he doesn't know what you mean by money, but he says, "Oh, all right. I will help. It is agreed. You will give me a church in the town."
I will talk to the Lord for you. All right, my large friend and I are in.
He's talking to you and to Sylvester.
Sylvester's just kind of enjoying the exchange between Rolento and Paleth, and not really saying anything, and starts to pet Mickey and smoke his pipe.
You're Chewbacca to my Han Solo, Paleth.
Ah.
What am I, Yoda?
Oh,
No, you're worse. You're what's that
Jar
chick in the last one?
Oh, I was
I
gonna say
know
Jar
the,
Jar.
Jar Jar Binks.
Maze. Is it Maze, the little crazy lady
Oh,
with the
Maze
glasses?
Kanata, yes.
Yeah, Maze
The
Kanata.
bug eyes and the jetpack.
Mm.
Gross.
You're gonna make random appearances in our adventures as we move forward. All right. Well, great. So it sounds like there's two of you who are willing to do this, but I'm afraid that the task will be much more than just two can handle. Although they are extremely powerful and good fighters, I'm sure that the rest of you will want to help as well.
Well, of course I'll be going.
Oh, I'm
Must
so
see the
grateful, Eldar.
goblins pass to the afterlife.
Great. Pretz, how about you? Are you interested?
Pretz will walk up and be like, Sylvester told me that I can't read books all day. I need fresh air, so I guess I'm going with you.
Good. You've been practicing and reading, so you need to put some of that study into practice. I think that this would be an excellent chance for you to do so.
I suppose I'll go too, to make sure that you don't burn the woods down.
That is true. Yana, you will find this quest, I'm sure.
Okay, when he
Very-
says that, Paleth perks up. He says, "Oh, that's a good strategy in war. Burn out the woods, and their goblins have nowhere to hide." He nods approvingly. Very wise.
Yes. Now, as you all travel, know that the Eastern Woods is very mysterious, and so there has not been a lot of people travel into this woods. But I have found in my studies that there is a rumor of an ancient civilization that used to exist in this area, and so you might be on the lookout for some ruins of that ancient town. And if you find anything, please record it. And he looks at Pretz especially. Please record it and make sure that you bring it back so that we can compile a book on your findings.
Yeah, ancient ruins. Okay. Yeah, we'll be looking out for that.
Great. Well, I would say that we can finish our dinner here to this evening, and then you can get a fresh start in the morning. I'm sure that you will have no problems finding the ambush cart on the way, and from there, I'm sure that your capable hands will be able to handle this matter from there. I thank you, gentlemen, for your service, and if you don't mind, I am old and Mickey is tired, so we're going to go to bed.
And hungry.
Yes.
Probably feed him more berries.
Good night.
Oh, we had a nice meal over at the King's. But I thank you for your concern. All right. So, with that, he gets up and kind of goes into the manor to his room, and so you guys are left there at the table to continue the discussion or call the night early and get a good rest for your day tomorrow.
Do we know how many days travel it is to the Oak Mill?
Oak Mill is it's a good day's travel. Sometimes even if you don't get a good early start, you might have to spend the night out on the trail, which at this point no one really tries to do.
Okay. Yeah, no. Rolento's gonna retire for the evening. He goes, we got a cakewalk tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna go get a good night's sleep. We'll get over there. We'll clear out the goblins or whatever it is, and we'll be back here in no time.
Whispered Eldorn. I wish I had his confidence.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the woods will bring upon him. You're smart to be cautious.
Yeah, have you gone in those woods? It smells like farts.
Is it the bears?
The
It's
fertilizers.
probably the berries in me. Ha ha ha.
Great. We're not even an hour into the adventure and we're talking. Okay.
Those halflings and their humor.
That's right. Stinky feet. All right. So in the morning, the sun shines through an overcast sky with some clouds. It's nice and frosty. It's turning into fall. And you guys make your way.
Are we provided with
So-
horses or anything for this travel?
There's not a ton of horses here. They typically are beasts of burden and carry carts or haul carts. So if you want, you could probably have a horse, but it's not really necessary.
Okay. A yak.
Oh, if you can just buy a cart and I can pull it.
A yak drawn cart. Oh yeah, you could turn into a yak.
Or a horse.
So
Horse.
like the types of animals that we find here, because this is so far north, is it like more like things that are like Siberia, like things that are native to there?
No. There's a lot of horses. They're kind of the more husky horses. So there's no kind of like what you would consider war steeds or anything like that. A lot of them are ponies. You have some oxen as well that are pretty furry that that pull the carts and stuff and work the fields. And you have some draft horses and stuff, but that's typically what you find.
Okay.
So like Iceland, like beast of burden.
Yeah, that sort of area. Norwegian in our modern world. So, but because it's such an island area, like getting horses around is not terribly easy. So
Okay.
there's just not a lot of beast of burden that way. All right.
Yeah,
You'd probably have to bring breeding horses over from the mainland to bring more.
Yeah, it's just not really part of the culture here. So they've just never, since it's such a frontier area, they do a lot of it just travel by foot because of the territory being so rough. So
Permafrost.
but yeah. Not really permafrost, but pretty high alpine stuff.
Frosty.
Stay frosty. All right, yeah, let's
Alrighty.
head out first thing in the morning. Then, if we got a day and a bit's travel ahead of us.
Okay. So, is there any particular way you guys just kind of walk as a? You gonna walk in a certain order, or how would you like? You tell me.
Yona, are you a point man because this is like your element?
I could. Although having you right next to me wouldn't be a problem either.
All right, Rolento will gladly be up front and scouting with Yona, listening to him. Rolento having to listen to Yona just jabber on about these woods and probably the things that he's found in his adventures out here, and
Or he completely ignores you and starts talking to the plants because
Yeah.
he can. In a language you don't understand. It's not exactly the best of company, but he's cheery company.
All right, so the two of us will be up front. We'll be the scouts, the point men.
All right. And then everybody else is just gonna kind of be strolling behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have Paleth in the middle of the road, draw all the attention to him, and then have everybody else off to the sides.
Put the target there. So, okay. Sounds good. So, you guys walk for probably, a good part of the day. You break for lunch, and in the early afternoon, you actually kind of come around a bend in the road in the forest, and you find where there's a number of carts that have been turned over. The animals are killed and actually slaughtered for their meat, and so there's just kind of a carcasses of those animals left there, and then you see that there's dead humans scattered about as well. The carts are empty, and any weapon of any kind, anything that's of worth, has been taken.
I slam my staff down, and I use my staff's ability, Pass Without Trace, at will. Cost no charges or spell slots. It's just now you have +10 to stuff, guys. To
Cool.
dexterity checks for stealth.
Yeah. Are the animals that were drawing the carts, are they slaughtered? Are they there? Or are they not there?
Yes, they were killed in the battle, but then they were
Butcher.
carved up for and butchered. Yes, for their meat.
Okay. Yeah, Rolento, he's up there with Yona, so I'm going to make an investigation roll here. He's going to try to assess the scene and determine what exactly played out. And have no idea. Looks like they were attacked. If we carry on the road, we'll probably find what we're looking for, fellas.
I'm gonna look and listen for any approaching or prying eyes.
Okay. So Rolento, even though you've made a terrible, you're still able to discover that there are some broken arrow shafts here, and some crude weapons that have been broken in the combat as well, and all the telltale signs of a goblin attack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you'll just look up the others after investigating about it and go, goblins.
And I was pretty much playing lookout for him.
Okay.
Do I notice anything approaching or
Nope.
anything in the area?
You scared off some ravens and some bugs circling above, but you don't notice anything prying eyes in the woods or see anybody on the road.
Suppose we can motion the other guys to come over.
Yeah. We'll wave them over. It's all clear. We got this taken care of. Don't worry. We've checked out the
By
scene.
the smell,
It's all safe.
how long has it been?
It's probably been a couple days. You can tell that the animals have been butchered, but they've also been gnawed on by, wolves or other little critters that
Fly
do the
eggs have
gnawing.
been hatched and stuff.
Yeah. There's some maggots working the carcasses.
Been a couple of days then.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rolento, you got any experience highwaymening or whatever you ruffians call it?
What are you insinuating?
Oh, your posture and everything. It seems so proper, and your swordsmanship. Seems like you were a mercenary for hire, I would assume.
I take my blade where it's needed. Let's just put it that way. And right now, it is hungry for goblin and particularly ogre blood. I think we should carry on. His job, like I said, is below us, but it is coming right from Lord Rygar. So let's carry on. There might be something in it for us in the end, I think.
I think you have a strong bloodlust, sir.
It's not me. It's Lady. And he pats his sword at his side. It's not me, it's Lady.
Yona does a slight bow and says, "Pardon me, my lady."
All right. So you're still standing there looking at carcasses.
Rolento motions forward. All right, let's carry on. If you guys aren't gonna look around here, the two of us have already found everything, so let's keep going.
to change the tone, Pretz is gonna say, "Did I ever tell you about how I got accepted into a prestigious wizard school?
Yes.
A hairy wizard named Haggard showed up one day when I was 10. Yep, Haggard the hairy wizard. He banged on my door, said, Pretz, didn't you get my letters? You're a fucking wizard."
You sat on your birthday cake, didn't you?
Yes, Pretz, you've told us this story many times over the past year that we've come to know you.
I count 79 times now.
And there was that one time that you said that you killed Strahd. 4
I did
times?
kill Strahd. What you killed was a fake Strahd.
I didn't kill Strahd or even see. What the fuck is a Strahd?
Yeah. These guys claim to be vampire hunters. Who's ever seen a vampire?
Oh, why so much swearing? You have words, use them. You do not need to swear.
Vampires aren't real. They don't exist. The two of you killed one. Yes, yes, yes. You came from another land. Let's move on.
Vampires do exist, but
Can Paleth is going to start looking around the wagon, try and make a survival roll to pick up trails.
Okay. Go right ahead.
All right.
Paleth trail blazing.
Yeah, well, he's got survival.
That's what he does. Wow. Let's get all these low rolls out of the way now.
Still a
It's
15.
because you
Oh,
did
15,
select,
yeah.
We're at
Good roll.
level 10. Even if you make a low roll, you
Yeah,
got
that's
plus.
right.
Unless you have a really bad...
Now, if this was Pathfinder, that would have been a 35.
We'd have to get out our calculator to figure out the.
That's right.
the
I
bonus.
can't count that high. I've got my shoes off. I still can't get there.
And
Okay.
Mike, change your dice color too. Might help.
Okay. Why? You don't like black?
No, it's
Superstitious.
Okay. Hang on.
Yes, superstitious for computer age.
I did not know that. Okay, so colors. Here we go. What color?
I change mine all the time. It
What's a
doesn't
good
matter.
color? Is blue a good color?
Blue is perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
Blue is a color. Is it your favorite color?
Let me see here. Is that blue to you?
I don't know. I'm colorblind.
All right.
Blue?
So does Paleth see any with a smoking 15? Does he see any footy prints or other evidence of which way the nasty banditses went?
So yeah, you're able to discern that there was a number of goblins and what you assume can only be ogre trails,
Okay.
footprints, because of their size. You're able to find where they kind of go off into the woods, the northern edge of the road, which leads into the east woods. And then you're able to see how they all kind of converge and then go on. It doesn't really seem like they tried to hide this path at all. Of course, ogres moving through this woods have snapped plenty of twigs and brush and stuff. So
Right.
it seems like a trail has almost been blazed.
And
Because-
they're carrying stuff too, right?
They are, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Paleth will just start following the trail, and maybe these other people will fall in line. He'll just walk over and say, "They went this way," and then he's going to take his thigh bone out, and he's going to start heading down
Into the woods, not on
into the woods.
Rolanto's gonna mutter, "I saw that," and then follow behind.
All right. So, are you guys trying to be stealthy, or are you just trying to follow the trail as fast as you can be, or are you just walking at a normal
How old?
pace?
Can Paleth tell how old the trail was?
Well, your assumption is that everything is dead, has been dead for a couple days. So, the twigs and the leaves and the sticks that were snapped, the leaves on them have been dying and wilting away. So yeah, it seems to be about the same age.
It's a couple days old.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and be stealthy.
All right.
Aren't you guys loaded up with Pass Without Trace too? So you're like plus 10
Everybody
to Dex, to stealth rolls.
So whatever it is, add 10 to it.
How long does that last?
Is that for all of us?
Yes.
Really? All right. I rolled a 36 then for my stealth.
no. The effects thing is added, so you could probably find it on there.
Oh.
You have to load it from the library.
I think I need, my token somewhere so I can select people.
You can control people on the combat tracker. Target them on the combat tracker.
How come?
Oh, wow.
Oh, your armor. I was like, why do you have disadvantage?
I'm disadvantaged. I've got an 18 with a plus 10 though.
Yeah.
There should be if you drag
Oh, Yona.
the
15 though.
Natural 1. I don't know if that means
15
anything.
though.
So Paleth is significantly quieter with his armor. Well, you guys aren't getting the plus 10 though, are you?
No,
Everybody
it's not showing on
is.
there. We get it, but it's not calculated on that.
Yeah, Yona hasn't figured out the button yet for it.
Okay,
so-
you could just add 10 to
It
the
should be
modifier
on the
down below there.
It should be on the spell. There should be an effect on the pass without trace spell. I have to switch to combat mode buttons showing.
Yeah, you should be able to target everybody. With control, or is it shift?
Control.
Control. Thank you.
Well, Paleth will continue on. What time of day is it?
It's early afternoon.
Okay,
It's not something I can cast, sadly.
he's heading off.
Okay.
I have.
I'll send you a tell with the code.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Aaron doesn't have it, then I have all those feats or whatever it's called, coded in my game. If you wanted to pop in there and drag and drop it onto your character sheet and bring it back over here, that's how I have all the codes.
Oh, Aaron
on
has them, but I don't know that I searched for it, but it didn't come up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see it as a
Is
condition.
it the 5e conditions and effects?
Mm-hmm.
Let me load that in.
So-
Cool. All right. So we're
anyways,
continuing on stealth.
anyways, you're all stealthily passing through the woods, even though you're not really. So you're able to walk for a good 3 hours on this trail, which is a struggle for you guys to stay focused and to stay stealthy. But it doesn't seem to be really scared beyond kind of popping into one of the deer every once in a while, and it takes off into the woods. You're able to pass through without seeming to disturb the wildlife very much.
Could say we could pass without trace.
Possibly, but that would just be too cheesy. So why don't y'all make me a perception check? And so this would be a good time to review that perception is a good thing to have on your quick tab at the bottom there. If you drag and drop your perception into one of those tabs, you can just hit that without playing around with your character sheet.
Got Eldorn with a natural 20.
All right, so Paleth and Eldorn and Yana, you kind of start to hear something very faint off in the distance, and you think it sounds like drums.
Are the drums changing? In other words, they sound like they're moving, or are they static?
They sound like they're staying in the same spot. They don't sound like they're getting closer, farther away.
Okay. Paleth will look over. Who's the sneaky guy?
Rolento.
And then the druid, right?
The druid could turn into an animal, as far as I don't know. Are you sneaky outside
Okay,
that?
He'll reach down and grab Rolento by the shoulder and say, "Drums ahead. Go sneak up and find out what is."
All right. He you see a half-cocked smirk on his face, and he draws a lady, and he nods and scampers off into the woods.
All right.
Stealth check.
Just so you know, your hunch is that the drums are probably a good half mile away.
We could walk with him a while yet, but
Okay.
they may have scouts.
All right. So let's say you get probably 5 miles or so. Well, not 500 yards or so from what you think. You can kind of see through the woods that there's a clearing up ahead, and so you let's see. Yes. So you sneak up Rolento, and you actually get to a little spot that you can actually see that there is a village, and the village appears to be built by goblins. You have some huts that are surrounding what looks to be just a small little ruined town. It's got some stone buildings and stuff, but none of the buildings are intact, and most of the buildings that are not intact have been taken over by goblins or ogres or something, and they now have some new thatched roof on top, and everything.
Two birds
So-
with one stone. We found our ancient ruins and we found our goblins.
Yes. The problem is that you're seeing that there seems to be a party going on at the site, and you see just gobs of goblins and ogres in this area. And I
Can you
mean
give
gobs.
an approximate number?
Well, let me just share the
Ooh.
map with you. So as you kind of observe this town or little village, you just start seeing more and more goblins and ogres all kind of milling about. Some of them are dancing about the big building in the center. It's getting to be about dusk now, and so it's starting to get darker, and you can see that they have some fires lit. And so seems like a party. Now, what's interesting about some of these ogres is that some of the ogres actually have little almost turrets on their back, and inside the turret there's goblins as well. And so they're kind of carrying on and laughing and doing that. Some of the ogres appear to be dancing around with their weapons, and those weapons are giant maces on the end of chains. And so they're swinging around, and every once in a while they'll knock into a house and like tear some of the roofing off. And the ogres or the goblins are clearly pissed, but they don't really want to upset the ogres too much, so they don't say anything. Yeah, so you see some of those, and then you also see some ogres that got I don't know, they look like ranged weapons, like they're big huge weapons that look like they would throw some kind of bolt, but the biggest bolt that you've ever seen. So that's kind of the image that you see.
So where are we in relation to this village?
So you would be kind of down in the bottom right corner where the little, I don't know, what's that little cross thing is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the
So,
yeah.
yeah. So you're able to sneak up pretty close to the village. What is strange is that there's no guards. Like nobody's paying attention to anything. Like they're all just kind of partying it up in this village.
Okay. I'll go back to the others and let them know what I see. There's many of them. There's a whole village of them. What do you think we should do? Should we draw them out? They're partying. There's no guards. There's no nothing. We draw them out one at a time and slay them in the woods.
Well, it's getting Paleth is wise, even though he doesn't speak very well. He looks and he says, "The advantage will be theirs in the darkness. Let them party and become drunk. We will attack at dawn, the time of Torm. The light will blind their eyes, and the alcohol will soften their reflexes. We will crush them." That's it. He's done.
All right.
All right. Relinto looks at the others like, do we? Yeah? Is this what we're doing?
Pret says, or we can slit their throats at night.
Well, Paleth will look back and say, "They sleep in the day."
And then we'll slit their throats during the day.
He looks back at you and nods. "Very wise. Good idea." Okay,
All
so
right.
here's how this works. Paleth is wise, but Relento, you need to sell this shit, okay?
Oh, yeah? Yes, oh, okay. Yeah, we've worked together for a year now, so we know each other's cues and what we need to do.
Paleth is good at coming up with the ideas, but he's not so good with good with persuading large groups.
Articulating it.
He's a pretty shitty cleric, actually, when it comes to preaching and stuff. He does his best work with the sword.
Yeah. So Relento will. Yeah. What Pela said. We wait for them to drink, get drunk, we go in there, and we do your crazy stuff, Pretz. We slit their throats when they're drunk and passed out or sleeping. It'll be easier and quicker that way.
Or we could send an army of giant toads to swallow up all the goblins.
You have army of toads?
Yeah. Yeah. What he said. You have an army of toads? Well,
Always.
Relento's looking around.
Who doesn't?
You just have to look among the trees and the brush in the forest. You can find an army.
Or you can suck them out of the Fae and tell them to go do what you want.
Hey, don't be sucking nothing near me, all right, Yona?
What?
That's what Relento says.
Don't traffic with Fae. Fair evil.
I'm not summoning mosquitoes.
Yeah, you'll die of West Nile, but it'll take months and years.
It'll start as a mild cold.
That's right. You'll have slight aching in your joints. It's a very long-range plan.
It's the long
Playing
game.
the long game.
Yeah.
Playing the long game.
Give everybody
But
yellow
think of all the
fever.
experience points we'll get in 2 years. You guys will just get chunks of 500 experience points for the next 2 years. Just magically appear.
Your health premiums are rated.
Yeah, so let's lay in the darkness of the woods for a while and watch them. What do we see?
Okay, so you guys are going to kind of sneak up and watch this whole affair. This little town sits somewhat in a valley. I mean, it's not a huge valley, but there's a little ridge that you're able to kind of sit on the crest and kind of watch the whole affair, if that's what you guys like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the village, does a nice little party for quite some time. The goblins takes turns doing dances, and then the ogres will kind of take the next dance, and they'll do theirs. Clearly, this is tribal behavior, and so in some ways they're trying to show each other up. And during the whole thing, you do notice that there is one goblin who seems to be the boss, seems to be the chief. Everyone is pretty deferential to him. You see people serving him, unlike most of the other goblins in the town. He's a small little guy, and so you're very surprised that he is he's the one that seems to be in charge. It's kind of confusing to you. But he doesn't seem to be intoxicated like the rest of them. So he's definitely presiding over this whole affair. And so, this goes on for a couple hours. It's well into the night now. It's probably 9 o'clock at night, and the party seems like it's not really near to ending. One thing you do notice as well is that there seems to be some goblins that come in from this little road that is opposite you guys, and they come down this road and kind of join the party. So they come down and put themselves into the midst and do that. And then one of those packs actually comes up and actually talks to the Goblin Lord, and you can see that they're having a conversation. And from what you can tell, the Goblin boss is fairly indignant to what is being said to him. Like he doesn't really like these folks coming and telling him this thing. So
can we somehow get over to where they are undetected and maybe follow these goblins? Like, are they leaving the camp after they go tell Snotty whatever they saw?
No,
Oh, they're staying and
they
partying?
don't. Yeah, they stay, but they don't party. So they kind of just go off, over here to this hut and kind of bed down for the night, as best you can tell.
Okay. Roll into what's running the others. Oh, fellas, do we want to go take a look to the northwest to see what's going on over there, or do we want to keep watching these goblins get drunk and party?
Well, we've got quite a bit of night time left, right?
Yep.
Yeah, would we be able to circle around up to that area there?
You probably couldn't do it as a group, but I don't know, some sneaky.
I could do the thing. I could do a thing.
You do the bird thing and fly over there. Yeah, that's reasonable.
Okay.
Do the bird thing. So what the indigenous birds are around?
You probably want to. It's night time. He says you should be a bat. Bats can see in the dark.
Ravens are definitely highly respected bird here, and the ravens are pretty large in size. I mean, it's kind of your standard birds. I mean, you got your little Tweety birds, and then you got your carrion birds, and then you got your birds of prey, and then buzzards, and so it's pretty standard.
It's nighttime.
I need something fast.
It should be an
I
owl.
think
Yeah,
that would be an
owl will be fast, and you see in the dark.
And an owl can see at night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that'll be a permanent addition.
Yeah. And now, did I forget to tell you that owls are blind in you can't see? Just kidding.
I was like, huh? So what?
What?
I think the DM was pulling my leg.
He's trolling you. Yeah.
Pulling the feathers.
So just to be cautious, I don't fly over the camp. I follow the same path that those guys would have done, but
fly around. Owls are like I don't know about you, but I've actually seen one, and it's like buzzed me in real life and flown over, and it was huge, but it made like no noise.
No noise. Yeah.
Just silent.
Stealthy.
I was out duck hunting, and I had a furry hat on, and I had an owl stare me down, and like my buddy beside me said, "You better move your head because he's getting." And so like, sure. I moved my head, and like the owl was like, "Oh fuck, it's just a human," and he flew off.
Could you imagine if it snatched the hat off your head?
It would have been horrible. I just sat there. I was like, that would have hurt like hell.
Yep.
He would have taken some of your skin. Yes.
No, he probably would have taken my whole head. Like he probably would have like plunged his talons into my skull and like been stuck there and like try to fly off.
Was it like a
been horrible
owl, or was this like one of those?
I don't know. I don't think it was a barn owl. It was probably just a hoot owl. So.
Hoot owl.
funny.
Okay.
Has that ever happened? I wonder.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
there's every
Oh, I'm
year.
sure.
There's every year I hear stories of it. So
So why weren't you wearing an orange cap?
because it's duck hunting, you don't wear orange when you duck hunt.
They see the orange?
Yeah, birds see color, so you don't wear orange during it.
Well, you know
flying around.
your camo's good if the birds are hunting you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Needless to say, I didn't wear that hat out duck hunting anymore. So
All right.
it was
Do you
warm,
wanna-
but it's not worth it losing my head.
Birds 1, hunters 0.
That's right.
Do we need to make stealth checks for this, or are we just going to take our
Well,
time?
no. If he turns into an owl and flies over there, if he's the
He's
only
going
one
up
doing it,
What?
We're splitting the party, Scooby Doo.
Oh, we're hanging back. All right. Do your
Yeah.
owl. Do your owl thing.
Let the guy with the wings take care of it.
okay. So, the Yono, tell me how this looks and what do you do?
Well, it's pretty uninspired, right? So I shrink down and feathers grow and boop, I'm just an owl. It makes no noise or anything. It's just now I'm an owl.
Okay.
Some green fluff magic can sparkle off me if you guys want, but that's about the extent of what an owl transformation would look like, I would imagine.
I'm picturing a Sword in the Stone kind of owl.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that cartoon?
Yes.
I think I have.
If
It's
Paleth
been a
was
while,
playing,
though.
We watched it about a year ago.
Oh, was that the cartoon one? I thought that was
Yeah.
the live action.
Yeah.
Nope, that's
no
cartoon one.
cartoon.
Okay.
Disney.
Okay.
Yeah. Fly
So-
bird. Fly.
So you fly, and then where do you perch yourself? Or are you just going to try to like hover and fly? How are you doing this?
well, you're working back to investigate where those other goblins come from, right?
I figured I would kind of first go down to the south road,
Mhm.
kind of look up and down that, perched
Okay.
on a tree, just kind of incognito, see
Mhm.
if there's anything over there, and then fly to the northwest part and look
Okay.
at that road.
Okay. The South Road is it's really just a trail. So you don't really see that it's heavily trafficked, but the Northwest Road is definitely heavily trafficked. And there seems to be lots of goblins and ogres coming and going from this trail. So it's definitely heavily used.
So I'm now Paleth would be thinking maybe there's a bigger camp down that road.
We don't know. We've got no clue. We're just sitting there watching goblins get drunk.
All right. I have to take a break real quick. So
Do a brief intermission.
while we take a brief intermission, let's take a 5-minute break and we'll be back at 11:40.
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yep. Okay,
Is
we're
anybody
back
watching?
from our brief break. Yeah, we got 5 people watching us. We've got real people watching us this time, Mike, and a lot of bots. Don't get me wrong. There's like 5 bots in there.
They're people pretending to be bots.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're back live. Owl
So-
flying.
Ow. Yona flying through the air quietly. You're going to perch. You've checked out the roads. You're going to perch someplace. You're going to perch by a tree on top of the little shack that those guys hunkered down in. What are you going to do?
Go northwest.
Scout around, see why they seem so concerning.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, how are
We'll
you
probably
going to
follow along the road for quarter mile, see if there's anything there. If not, turn back around and head back to the party.
Yeah, no, the road stays very well traveled, but it's you don't see anything. Let's say that you see just a slight little glow kind of off on the horizon. But you know, it's a ways away.
I could only assume that it's like goblin related.
Yeah, I mean your hunch is that it's probably some other village. And the fires from that village are casting
so
light.
The path back is going to be, I'm going to head from the northwestern road to the northeastern road, the one that heads east.
Mhm.
And just give it a quick glance to see if there's any patrols or anything there. If not, head straight back to the party after that.
Okay. Yeah, they're this just kind of goes off into the woods. Again, it's not very well traveled, kind of like the southern road. But it just looks like a path that they use to travel through the forest. So it doesn't seem to be as well traveled. Doesn't seem like a main thoroughfare. So, all right.
Alright, so head back to the party and make a psychic link with Eldorn. Tell
can
him
do
all
that?
the. Yeah, I can. I'm a ghost-wise halfling.
Crazy.
Telepathically talk to people.
Whoa.
Does
So
Eldorn
speak-
know this, or is this the first time you've ever done it with?
Oh, I probably have done it once or twice during dinner when my mouth was full.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably done it to me before when I'm practicing in the woods.
Okay, so this isn't a surprise to Eldorn.
Oh, probably not.
All right.
And he sees the owl there. It's not like, it's coming from nowhere. So I relay the information that I saw inside of his head. Heavily traveled road going northwest, and hardly any traffic south or east. And then I transform back into my halfling self.
All right. Why did you need to tell?
The owl
tell him
didn't
that
say
he's gonna-
anything.
Yeah, good question. Just to show off his powers.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Just to let you guys secretly
Guys.
know, hey, I can actually do this.
I've got mind powers, just to let you know. Just to remind you all, I've got mind powers. Okay, now I'm going to go back to being a halfling.
All right.
Cool. All right. So Rolento asked the others, like, so what? So should we just take them? This is taking too long. Just go in there, just kill them all.
Patience. Wait
You
till
want
dawn.
some sleeping mixture? I can make you up something really fast.
I don't know what that is. No, I don't need that. I don't want to sleep. I want to kill them. I want to kill goblins. I want to kill ogres. Get this over with. Let's get out of these woods. It's cold.
We
I
should
think
have
that
a-
worked.
That worked.
We should have a plan.
What's going on in the camp right now, Aaron? Are they starting to wind down? Are they still partying hard?
They're still partying pretty hard.
What time is it?
It's probably approaching 10 or 11 now.
Okay, so it's like 11 a.m. in the morning to them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're not. They're
The
just getting
nocturnal,
started. This.
you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rolando doesn't know this.
So at this point, you do see that the goblin boss, he seems to have been brooding the whole time since that conversation that he had with that other goblin group. And you see him kind of get up in the middle of the party and walk over to that that hut that those guys went to. And even over top of the noise of the party, you can hear kind of a loud conversation that doesn't sound very friendly. I mean, obviously, Goblin doesn't sound friendly to begin with, but this sounds like there's a pretty serious chewing out going on. And after about 20 minutes of this, the Goblin boss returns to his place, still brooding, but seems a little bit more satisfied with what took place.
Does anybody here speak Goblin?
Let's see if Paleth does.
I speak Common, and that's it.
Nope.
If we ever have another year, Yona could teach you some Elvish.
I speak Common, Giant, and a language called one of my choice. No, he doesn't speak Goblin. Paleth is going to look at the wizard. Say, can you make the big fireballs?
Pretz?
Yeah,
Yes.
Pretz can do a lot of things.
No, really, you're going to die if you can't actually do that, because we're going to count on you to make big fireballs to kill lots of goblins. So
I can do fireballs. I can do ice storms. I can do cloud kills.
you make the poison gas.
I do make the poison gas.
What?
I thought Yona made the poison gas.
Though
What,
the forest makes the poison gas.
how big is your cloud?
How big
just
is your
ask
cloud?
how big their cloud is, man.
That's a very personal question to ask a wizard.
How big is your gas?
So I guess 4 squares, 20-foot 20-foot radius. So 4x4 ish sphere.
Does it move?
Only always.
Depends on my mood.
What's the
I
wind like right
imagine
now? I'm sorry,
depends
good.
on the wind.
I think you can advance. Well, I don't know. There's so many damn versions of the spell depending on the game, but I'm thinking you might be able to move it around. That would be really effective for the goblins, I think.
Or else,
What's
can,
the
can
wind
you
like right
can
now?
you put them to sleep?
So the fog moves 10 feet away from you at the start of each of your turns. Roll along the surface of the ground.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet, actually.
Are these squares actually 5 feet though, Aaron? Or is this kind of zoomed out and not
Yeah, no, this is about 5 foot. Yeah.
per square? Okay.
All right. Well, Paleth will look around and say, everyone say what their best tactics are to fight a large group. Spells, abilities.
Yeah. Relento just draws his sword.
We are going to war. We need a plan. We need a war plan.
Ah, Lady and I can hold our own. You cast your spells. We'll go in there. We'll clear them for you.
All right, well, we know that the he's been with the. Of course, he hasn't seen that warlock do a whole hell of a lot over the last 10 levels, but
He's done a lot. He just hasn't rolled.
Eldritch
He's low.
Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast. That way, I single-handedly
one-
killed a few vampires with the
Yeah,
spell one time.
that
was
one
pretty cool.
battle
You did.
where
You
he
did.
turned the tide of battle with those 3 vampire
Yeah.
brides was
what was that spell?
It was called
Came out of
Dawn. I
his
don't even
shell.
have that spell anymore.
Oh, yeah, get rid of the good one. All right. Gosh.
the one that we
Got
still have
better
to this
one.
day.
I've
you
got
trade
better ones.
Eldritch Blast?
No, I've got better spells now.
Okay.
You're just gonna have
Like
to.
water breathing.
Water breathing. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, that's nice.
Somebody make it rain so he can breathe.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm not getting a whole like organized planning vibe from this party, so I think we're gonna have to.
We just go
we'll
in.
Just roll with it. Yeah. Let the. You know.
Just to kind of interject, like each one of those little things represents 5 goblins.
Okay, I was gonna ask, like, what's in a goblin
So-
pack? Like, how many?
So like there's probably
There's hundreds.
over 100 goblins, and then of course you see about 9 ogres.
But how do they roll their attack roll? So they roll like swarm tactics.
Yes,
It's like one roll, but it's more damage.
correct.
And then it's like it drops in damage when it gets to like half health or whatever. That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Something like that. Whatever I
I-
decide to do.
Never tell me the
Whatever I
odds.
decide.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Never tell me the odds. Let's go.
okay.
How do I get that map back up on my screen?
You might check your images now since I've shared it with you, and it would be Goblin Outlying Village would be that, but I can share it again as well.
Ah,
Rather than how we fight the ogres and whatnot, where do we fight them?
Well, we've been tasked with killing these guys regardless, right? It's just a matter.
You've been
of
tasked
how.
with stopping the goblin threat.
Oh, killing them's the best way to stop them.
That is very true. There's no doubting that.
Well, if we somehow manage to coax a 9th level caster with true polymorph, we could turn them all into rabbits and pacify them that way. But
Do
I
you
don't
have-
think that's an option right now.
Oh. Rolento's going to turn to the others and say, well, what about my first plan? We lure them out a few at a time, and we kill them in the woods.
Provided they come a few at a time. That's a great plan.
How do you ensure that they come a few at a time, Rolento?
Listen, I'm just the
Hit them
ideas
in the
guy.
head
You
with a
guys,
rock?
you fill in the blanks, all right?
Well, you wrote the title of the
Ma-
book, but
ma-
do you expect us to write the book for you?
Cast a wall that comes out of the ground or something and separates them. I don't know. You guys all have these tricks, these spells that you all rely on.
I suppose I can work on something.
All right. So what's the plan? He starts rubbing his hands together. Let's get to this. It's getting late.
So as you guys are speaking, one of the goblin groups, there's like about five or six of them, and they actually kind of start walking towards you, but
Yes.
they're pretty heavily intoxicated. And so they get kind of to about the bottom of the ridge, just into the tree line, and you can hear that they're talking and that they're saying things. And it's just clear that they're kind of relieving themselves.
telepathically linked with Rolento. Great, now it smells like goblin pee.
Orlando looks at the others. He's like, like he's got to start out ready.
I tell you, go for it.
I don't have any ranged attacks, so if I'm going, I'm dropping down on these guys.
That'd help. Sorta, in my own druidic way.
Your unique way. All right.
So they're starting to put their vein back in their pants and
All right,
Getting ready to head
Rolento,
back.
he's all for it then. He's got the okay from Yona. He's gonna slide down and stabby some goblins.
Wait, how many are there?
5.
5 of them.
How far are they from the main camp?
Well, looks to be about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
They're just on
30.
the outskirts.
30 feet, 30 to 40 feet.
All right. And no.
And they're
Paleth,
probably
if he starts to
equally
slide
as-
down, Paleth is just going to grab him by the neck and hold him up in the air like a cat.
And I'll be clawing at you just like a cat.
he's like, not smart.
Not smart, but efficient. Let me do my thing.
Not efficient. He'll shake you a little bit, like no.
Well, then let's act. They're starting. They're going. No, we lost our chance.
He drops you.
That was stupid, Bailiff.
No, you going to kill all 5 at the same time, so no alarm gets raised?
You've seen me fight. You know I'm
You
capable
can't
of
kill
it.
5 at a time.
You've seen me fight.
Actually, he probably could.
Rolento's not back now. You've seen me fight, Bailiff. You know I could have done this. And they were drunk. This wasn't even a fair fight.
We need surprise to win.
Oh. Bah. Rolento's visibly upset that you interfered
Sorry.
with his killing of the goblins.
The goblin blocked you.
Yes, you goblin blocked me.
Sorry,
All right.
man.
So what's the big idea, Paleth? What are we gonna do?
We wait for dawn when they are drunk and blind and kill them.
Drunk and blind.
The sunlight will make them easy to fight.
Hello, Nick.
Hey, is Nick in the game?
Nick,
Hey.
Hey, Nick.
Don't mind me, I'm just eavesdropping. Got home too late.
All right.
Don't let me interrupt.
No problem.
So while we wait, Yona's gonna tap onto a tree. And I
Tap.
whisper to it, awaken.
And what happens to a tree?
Become sentient. Has an intelligence of 10 now. It has feelings. It can move if it wanted to. It's friendly towards me and my companions so long as we don't harm it.
The tree kind
Quansino.
of shakes a little bit and twists slightly in one of its limbs. Kind of taps Yana on its head.
Oh, great.
What up, tree?
So now the trees are moving. So how's this gonna help us kill goblins?
Have you ever tried to fight a tree, sir?
No.
We can lure them up here. The tree can bash the living shit out of them.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. Paleth will say,
I could summon a angel to help fight.
I can summon 2 experienced dryads.
I like this plan. More numbers.
All right, well, do your casting and then let's kill some goblins.
Okay.
And
All
don't,
right, let's do
don't
it.
goblin block me this time, Paleth.
he starts casting, but casting time's an hour.
Relento's just like tapping his feet. By the way, hey Nick,
You know what?
Nick, the chat. There's people watch. There's live people watching us, and they're chatting you up in the chat there. If you go over the Twitch, Oak's over there, and so's Devil Dog.
I have no idea, Aaron, what kind of celestial I get or anything. I guess that's up to you.
Okay.
Or I can get an earth.
I didn't know you were streaming this. I'll switch over to Twitch.
Here, I'll throw there's the link. I threw it in the Discord. Yeah, Aaron wants to stream it, so we're streaming. We're live to the masses.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll jump out of here and go to Twitch.
See you, Nick. Here's the spell, Aaron, in case you want to see it.
Okay. Oh, you know me. I don't really care too much.
I know, but I don't know. It says celestial. I don't have no clue what that means.
An angel.
It's like a woman who comes on and sings really pretty songs. That's Celine Dion.
That's Celine Dion. Yeah, that's right. How do I get this into?
Canadian.
How did you drop that in there?
Grab the dragon head and drag it over to chat.
Yeah, but do you put it in a little box or?
Make it a cherub that he summons, just like a little Cupid cherub thing, baby with a little bow and arrow. please make that.
I was thinking just a cherub with a head and wings. That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to. We're gonna do Cupid, huh? That's what we're gonna do.
Flying around with a little.
So you say celestial. What's the challenge rating limit?
There we go.
I have D&D Beyond open right now, so
it's oddly vague.
Yeah. Don't grab a dragon by its head.
Yeah, figured that part out. But yeah, it says
just looking for a challenge rating number.
Well, it's a 9th level spell. So you cast a spell, they stay longer.
Is this the planar
binding? Yeah, let me see. Component: a jewel worth at least 1,000. You know what? I don't think I at least 1,000, so don't worry about that.
We have a bag of holding from Straw just full of jewels.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I guess I do have a.
Right? It's like littered with gems, is from what I remember.
Okay.
So, challenge rating of 1 and 2. Your celestial choice is a Pegasus.
What?
Really? Oh, is that what it lists?
Why would my challenge rating be a 1 or a 2?
That was just a guess.
Oh. Yeah, it's a 9th level spell. I'm thinking or 5th level.
5th level spell.
Maybe you should tell me the challenge rating that it has listed there.
Let's go with the 5th level challenge rating.
Let's break out the old book. This is in the player's handbook?
Yeah.
All right. I got it right here in front of me, the physical one.
Yeah, it doesn't have any CRs listed in it.
It's because you have to be in the presence of one to begin with to bind it.
Yeah, so you don't summon one. You bind it to you.
Oh,
an elemental, a fae, or a fiend to your service.
Oh, wait, so I've got to find it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you
cast summon it or conjure it?
Right, you cast it on a creature.
Well, that's silly. Where am I
That's why it's called planar binding, not planar summoning.
Yeah, well, but okay, I'm sorry. There's other versions of this game that they come when you bind them.
One ring to bind them.
All right.
In the darkness.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes more sense why they weren't listing what the hell you get.
Planar ally is what you want. That's what you're thinking of. Yes,
okay.
You beseech an otherworldly entity for aid. Yeah, it's a 6th level conjuration.
Okay, well, next level. Just wait till I make 11th level.
That's pure Mike right there. Next level. Next level. I'll get what I want.
Never mind. Tomorrow.
But I summoned 2 dryads, and they kind of pop out of the local forest.
Relento jumps back. What the hell did those come from?
Good evening, ladies.
They just kind of bow.
I say in Sylvan the objective, and they should be able to understand me then.
Oh, I understand what you say. What did you say?
Oh, I said it's ogre and goblin season. They're encroaching here. Let's kill them.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So it's
All right.
about 1 o'clock in the morning now. Party's still going.
Are they starting to get pretty drunk?
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty well intoxicated. Some of them are not intoxicated. It's probably about half and half. It seems like some of them have been possibly instructed to not become intoxicated.
Oh, the nerve. Okay. Yeah, so what's the plan, fellas? We've got some dryads. Have any other goblins wandered over here in the time being while we've been chatting to go relieve themselves, or no?
No, but that same group of goblins who originally came in earlier in the evening to have a discussion with the goblin boss make their way back over to the goblin boss and have another discussion, which
There's gonna be a fight.
seems to upset the goblin boss even more.
Let's get in there.
And so they're having like this very animated discussion, and the party kind of starts to die down a little bit and or not people, but goblins and ogres start to kind of pay attention to this fight, at least this verbal fight. So the drums kind of stop beating, and the raucous party kind of dies down, and so this argument gets very, very heated, and but it seems like both parties are unwilling to actually draw blood in it, which is very unusual for goblins because typically they're more than willing to fight it out. But there seems to be some kind of strange power authority struggle going on here, and neither party is willing to be the one to draw first. So the argument kind of continues on, and it just seems like both parties become kind of exhausted and exacerbated, and so the goblin party goes back to its.
So the attention there, though,
little
was during this argument is all focused in the center of the village, the center hut.
So
this is our chance, fellas. All right, Rolento's sliding down the little cliff with Lady Drawn.
Are you guys still there?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, who did we lose? Someone just dropped out.
I'm here. I'm reloading.
Okay.
Yeah, Rolento's got his blade drawn. He goes, points to Yona. All right, let's grab your two forest ladies and let's go. And he slides down the little cliff that they're on.
How far did I
Yona on
get?
your
Because I
back.
think I dropped.
Oh.
In my conversation.
You were at the part where there was an argument, and then like almost like a vie for power, and the goblin group that was arguing with the goblin boss like started to leave again.
Yes. So neither one. So it didn't come to blood, and the goblin group goes back to its hut.
But while this is
so the
go ahead.
Party starts to kind of warm back up again.
While this was going on, I wanted to use the distraction. If everybody's attention's on that center hut, and slip in there.
Okay, where did you want to slip in to?
All right. So he told Yona to grab his forest lady friends and follow him. And I can't ping. Goblin Pack number 7. Yeah. There you go. I want to get close to these guys because they're kind of on their own.
Can you share the main map again, Aaron?
Yep. Hang on just one second. Let me get everybody on there.
Yeah, let's zoom in.
I'm having trouble loading your books, man. To do this next time.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I just don't want to do it because I keep crashing when I do. So I'll do it
that's
at the
not
beginning.
good. There's probably too much stuff up. There's a lot
no
of
worries.
crap out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Devil Dog. Yeah, Rolento. Let's go.
Oh, that is a big crowded
Yeah.
combat tracker.
So we're going to take out this pack. We're distracted.
And do you have 2 Dryad tokens, or are we just going to say that they're somewhere?
They're just around you.
What can your Dryads do?
We're gonna need a treant too.
A treant? Yeah.
Or
all right.
Didn't we animate a tree?
We did, but it can't walk, can it? It's still rooted?
It can't walk, but it can move its limbs and its roots, but it doesn't want to get up because it's still a tree.
It's a whomping
It's
willow
not a
now.
tree.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
they're
what I was
lazy.
thinking.
Trees are lazy.
Trees are lazy.
Yona's a bit of a show off. He just uses his powers all the time just to show us and remind us that he can do all these things. Hey, I can talk to you telepathically. Hey, I can animate trees. Hey, I can summon forest ladies.
Jealous yet?
Nope.
I'll watch him in his fancy footwork.
At least we're not short.
Yeah, let's sneak up there. Let's get close.
Oh,
All
do you
right, do
want
I have
me
my
to show
spellcasters behind me who have all their big dangerous spells that they're gonna do?
One of them's
Yeah.
only leveled up to 4th level, so I
What?
think he's got a ton of
Come on,
powerful spells.
Harry Potter, let's go. Yeah, these are gorgeous maps. Nick says nice hand drawn map. Aaron drew all of these and they're insanely well done and detailed, and I love them.
Oh, thanks.
I want to before we get started here, I think Palis is going to cast a few spells.
All right, cast your spells, and we're gonna kick this off because this is Rolento's getting impatient as he normally does with these sorts of things.
So,
Lady craves blood, he says, and
Paleth is going to cast Adderall on Rolento. All right, let's see here.
Aaron,
Sweet.
Nick's wondering if all the maps are going to be hand drawn.
Yeah, so far they are.
There you go.
If we get past this one.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Relento.
I'm working on it.
Let these ladies draw him out.
All right. Yeah, Relento's
And Yona has a giant smile.
Relento's like, okay, finally, we're using my plan. Okay, let's do it. And he's all anxious.
Do we need to plug our ears?
He'll hang back with you, and
I don't think they're sirens. I think they're just dryads, right?
He's quite pleased that you're finally using his plan. I said this hours ago.
All right, so
I guess these things are going to come from me if I don't have a token.
Aaron, let me ask you a question. You said that this area was kind of like a little valley. It's like a little bowl.
Mhm.
Was there any water here? Like
not that you can really see.
There's no like little streams running through or anything like that?
No, not that you can tell.
Okay, all right. Because I can raise the water level 20 feet, so that would be fun. But
the latrine.
Probably, yeah, it's like drown them in their own poop.
They're goblins. They don't have latrines.
Yeah,
They're called
right?
huts.
Okay, I can't tell. I'm trying to. Okay, concentration is what
Found
these things. Okay, okay. So he will have. Remember that spell, Spirit Guardians?
Uh-huh.
He'll have that up when things start.
Okay.
And let's see here, spiritual weapon as well.
Now, I honestly don't know or think we could survive this, but Rolento doesn't know that. But me as the player is going, oh,
Well, I'm
it's pretty
trying, but
difficult.
I'm starting to feel like a jerk trying to stop you from having fun tonight. So, like, well, we'll just let him.
Looks like Yona's got some bloodlust going on also.
Yeah. Well, I think that the druid is the only one that's going to make it out of here because he'll fly away.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, can you add those dryads that I plopped down? It actually had a token for me on the corner of the thingamajig.
Probably have to pull them from here, though. Yeah, let me get there.
So this is during the loud shouting also that we're doing this. This is during the argument in the center of the village. We want to use that to our advantage.
Okay.
I want to emphasize that before we just go in there, run in, charging.
The minute we attack, it's going to be like it's not all right.
Well, convince me of something else. Do you want to go to the northwest? I'm all for going to the northwest also.
It doesn't matter at this point.
We haven't attacked yet. You've already grabbed me once by the scruff of the neck.
Yes, it's all right. We'll just see how this plays out. See here. I'm trying to figure out how to. Oh, there it is. Okay.
We need our wizard to get up to 10th level fast.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize that the wizard was only level. That's a little disturbing.
He does have fireball, and Devil Dog just said to cast fireball, burn the camp down.
Does he have ice storm?
He does, I believe. He said he did, didn't he?
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, actually, he's going to. He will have stone skin on instead of the spirit guardians.
He was muted there.
Yeah.
You have ice storm, don't you, Pretz?
I do. I'm a master of the elements.
Why is that not going on? There it goes. Okay. So Aaron, there's he has resistance against things. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Go do your thing. This is going to get ugly.
Did you cast it on yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
That and
all I see is a death ward.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that there doesn't appear to be a way. When I click on the stone skin, I don't see any effects for it. Just so I don't know how to put the effects on, but I guess there should be a way to do that, right?
Should be
a button.
Well, let me see here. Let me just try. I'm sorry. The modules aren't loading for me. Is that the player's handbook? Is where that would be, right?
That I'm not for sure. What level spell is that one?
That is a 4th level spell.
Stone skin.
Did you just put it on him? Oh, I don't have the combat tracker open. Are we going to need that? Is that important at this point?
Well, so far.
Let's see your stone skin.
Line up that combat tracker nicely. There we go.
Oh, that must be a I think that's a war domain spell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's war domain. It's resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so while. It's been a while since.
At least the player's handbook version does not have any effects on it. We just have to. How do I do that? How do I? What does resistance give you, anyways?
Half damage.
Okay. Well, we'll just know. Cut the damage in half.
Make Aaron do math on the spot.
Yeah.
Because it automatically hits your token for full, and then he has to.
I can do math.
No, no.
Oh yeah.
You've got it's probably in the statuses, Aaron. You can just drag it onto his on the combat
I'm
tracker.
looking. I don't see
Effects. Is that under effect?
I was looking under effects, but I don't see one.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want me to cast something else?
No, whatever you want to do. That's
All
fine.
right, we'll do that for now. I'll probably cast something in pretty quickly after that that'll wipe it out. So.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
There's resist. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
You found something?
I see resist under effects, like under a custom.
I don't
mod.
know how to edit it though.
Well, let's not hold things up for it. Oh, here's another one I can have on. Freedom of movement. That's not a. That is not a whatchamacallit spell.
That's weird. I have the conditions and effects, but when I open it up in my library, like it doesn't. They don't show up as. None of them show up properly. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm not getting like freedom of movement is another one I can't seem to drop an effect on, and it's not listed as a what are those spells called that you can only have one of?
Concentration.
Concentration.
Yeah, it's not listed as a concentration spell.
Okay.
So I'll have he'll put freedom of movement on too.
All right.
All right. Let's get going. If we're gonna die, let's hurry up and do it before it's too late.
I'm not dying.
Oh, well,
I'm a slippery bugger.
Decent shot, anyways.
Okay. So, what's the plan here, guys?
Yona has a plan with the Dryads to draw these goblins towards us, right? I don't know if Yona's muted, but I see he cast a spell.
Yep. Fey Charm.
Okay. Are you targeting somebody with Fey Charm, or what are you doing?
It should have. I'm not sure how to use the Dryad 1 or Dryad 2, but I do have a Dryad monster sheet. That's all I got.
So you summon them, and then you cast Fey Charm on them, so that you can use them? Is that what you're doing?
No, the Dryad is casting Fey Charm on the Goblin Pack 7.
Oh, okay.
Yoda just has no way of targeting with the dryads.
I have them targeting the goblin, but it didn't want to do that because it's not like I'm clicking on a skill in my book. It's weird.
All right. I'll see if I can do it.
Drop a token for spiritual weapon too.
Failure.
So it failed.
So it is now magically charmed by this dryad, and I want to coax it to come to the dryad.
Yeah.
Give it a hug. All 5 of them.
Okay.
Has this pack been drinking? Sorry, Aaron, to clarify.
Some, but they're not nearly as intoxicated. The guys on the outside are not nearly as intoxicated as the inner circle here.
Okay, gotcha.
As you get closer to the goblin boss, they are more intoxicated, and the goblin boss is not.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. We could take them, fellas.
So the dryad coaxes these goblins and tells them, oh, these people are friends. They're friends. And of course, it's going to be completely trusting.
Okay.
So Dryad simply wants those goblins to have a conversation with Relento over there. Friendly conversation, nothing more.
I can only attack one.
It is one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
one-
'cause it's a pack.
One group. Yeah, it's a pack. They're all in there.
So you have a bunch of goblins. Yona has given you the opportunity
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sate your bloodlust.
yeah. So Relento and smiling, and Lady is gleaming in the moonlight. And he's going to, as they come over, he's going to unleash on this goblin pack.
Okay.
But my
Go right
character
ahead.
sheet is not opening. There we go. Sorry, this is the first time I'm using this character for an attack and such. Is this considered a surprise?
Yeah, because he's charmed and he's thinking that you're friendly.
And you also are a swashbuckler, so you have sneak attack.
I have sneak attack, but then I also have assassinate because I'm an assassin. So in addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. Haha.
Uh-oh.
And I have advantage.
What did I do?
Don't forget to target him.
I think I have a target. Goblin Pack 7.
Fine. There's so many things in the combat tracker that I can't tell, so you just make sure that
Yeah,
you...
we're at the bottom. Monsters are
Do
up
you-
top.
Do you know how? Is there anything I need to do special to make it critical? Because this is a critical attack. Being an assassin and a surprise.
Just roll critical dice afterward, maybe.
Yeah, just roll it and see what happens.
Okay, I rolled a 22. I hit the pack. All right, so he grins, and as the goblins come forward, and he launches towards the pack of 5, and he makes his way, he dances from one to another, to another, to another, and they drop, and you can hear Relento almost like cackling as he does it, and he looks over his shoulder at the group of the others, kind of like, ha, 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 like looking for their approval, like, come on, guys, you know I can do this. And he's looking at the camp while he's killing him. He's not even looking at the goblins as he's stabbing them. He's looking for more targets as they all drop around him.
Well, we killed 5 out of 100.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody seems to notice that this has happened either.
Well, maybe we should just let Relento slip into the camp and just kill them all.
Just kill all of them. I do get sneak attack all the
You can
time,
just
essentially.
Nibble around the edges until you get to the soft, creamy part in the middle.
Do we want to make our way
You
around
run into an ogre.
and try and charm? Can you just keep casting charm? Is that a thing?
Let me look at the thing. I don't believe that's a thing it can do over and over again.
Because that would be great.
Okay. So this is your guys' strategy to just
Well,
slaughter an entire village of
just slaughter
ogres
the
and
camp.
goblins.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know yet. Relento's
dope.
bloodlust has been satiated for the time being.
Now you want to parlay?
He says, "Lady's happy. She was hungry."
Jeez.
Oh, man.
Can you do it over and over again?
Since they're dead, you can't have more than a certain number of things charmed at a time, but since they're dead, what does that mean? I'm going to leave this up to Aaron.
Yeah, no, you can do this whole thing and probably get half the camp.
Is this the plan, fellas?
I like this plan.
There's just going to be a pile of dead goblins over this part of the camp. A literal pile.
And we'll just kind of be in the background.
Well,
We'll be like the chorus, and then
Charge in at some point.
I wouldn't say they would get half the camp, because as soon as someone passes that saving check, they're going to alert that they were charmed.
what's the
It's 14.
DC 14, 60%.
So they'll call out that there's some I don't know, tree ladies calling out.
Well, let's just cut out the middleman. Just send Relento in their stealth, and just, we don't even need to charm them.
Are you gonna stay behind me to heal me when needed?
Oh yeah, I got your back, brother.
Oh yeah, thanks. Remember Chewie to my Han Solo.
You got it. I'll be back there with my crossbow.
Punch it, Chewie.
All right.
Ooh. Okay, so instead of doing that weird charming bullshit, what we could do is have them entangle a massive area.
Oh yeah.
Now we're cooking peanut oil.
Entangle. Yes, I like it.
And then send through the cloud kill.
Or drop a fireball on them and they take burning damage also.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so that's the 1, 2, 3 punch, right? Entangle them all, then just kind of Zamboni them with the cloud kill, and
See,
hit them
this
with
is the issue when we play like other games that doesn't have us like killing things. Suddenly we get to 5e and like everybody's just like, murder hobo. Here we come.
5e is so good at it though.
That'd be terrifying.
I mean, we waited, we listened, we're like, okay, yeah. Now what?
Okay.
It's Vihander. I'm afraid to even swing at something.
Your arm will fall off.
So ultimately, I mean, we're running a little bit short on time here. So ultimately, you guys can wipe this village out. You're going to have troubles with the ogres, but you're still going to overcome them. So I'll say that you can kind of doing what you're doing. You can basically wipe out half this village, and then you can entangle another, good portion of it. If you wanted to send cloud kill through at that point, then you could kill off another good chunk of it. Do you want to slaughter everybody, or are you trying to take captives, or are you trying to?
That's a good question.
Do any kind of thing. So let's kind of play that out.
So nobody here speaks Goblin, right?
No, but do the goblins? They might be able to speak Common.
I think there would be benefit to capturing Shorty.
Does the wizard not have a spell for that?
Sleep?
No, I was thinking more like speak languages.
Oh. So sleep for capturing him?
It's like, yeah, let's get Shorty. I
see what you did there.
Shorty and maybe the goblins that he was arguing with?
Snorty and the crew?
Yeah.
I like it. I know. I think that's good.
All right. And then by the time the wizard's done leveling up, he should have a spell from.
I don't put things to sleep. I boil them up.
He's an evoker. He's evocative.
Okay. Have him invoke a romance language.
All right. So, how do you want us to play this out, Aaron?
You guys kind of tell me how it goes. How do you slaughter this village?
Do we want to systematically keep drawing groups out as we can until we're found out, and then do you guys want to do that mass entangle / poison cloud?
I think that's the humane way to go.
Okay,
it's the final solution.
That's
it does have a German vibe to it, but
Zweihander. You guys have been corrupted by that.
By the Grimdark, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. If you guys are on board, I'm on board with that. It's the safest way for our characters and the smartest way. We're not dumb. We've lived to be level 10, so we're not stupid.
I wouldn't rule out luck at this point. But yeah, so we'll
Okay. So let's say that you whittle down the village to about this. And these guys are pretty well incapacitated. The guys who have gone over to the hut are still in the hut, but they haven't come out because they don't. They haven't really heard anything as far as you can tell, which is surprising because there's been some screams, particularly as a cloud of mist slowly rolled through, like the
Burned everyone to death with
Yeah.
horrible mustard gas.
Yeah, acidy pleasure.
Terrible,
So,
terrible.
all right. So what do you guys want to do here?
So to get to Snorty, we will have to go through these guys.
Yeah, but they're all pretty well incapacitated, either being drunk or um, just so kind of beaten down by the gas and everything.
Is Shorty still up?
Shorty is still up and is kind of very confused about why his whole army has disappeared. But he's hiding behind his ogres and his the remaining goblins.
All right, well, let's go get him.
Damn. All right. This now Rolento's going to turn to the spellcaster. You guys got a spell for this?
Well,
Anybody?
we gotta
Get
Snorty without getting the rest of these guys.
Don't you guys usually have things to put large groups to sleep?
I can put a large
are you
group
guys-
to dead.
I mean, a bard could do that.
Yeah, but the bard's watching on Twitch and not in the game.
Oh, is that what Nick's playing? We need him. Oh, he's not even watching us anymore. He's abandoned us.
That's right. He's like,
He's left
"Yeah,
us
this is
with
so boring."
with the bots. Oak's still here.
Slaughtering a village is too much for him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm not in league with these guys.
That's right. Okay, so Snorty is standing there, and he is he wants to fight, but he knows that it's basically hopeless at this point because he sees that you guys are very powerful. So he kind of climbs up on the shoulder of this ogre here,
Okay.
and he kind of points his sword in your direction, and he says, he kind of screams at the top of his lungs in common, "What are you doing here?"
Really?
Paleth is just going to walk over there, unless someone stops him.
Nope. Go
No,
ahead.
I'll walk over with Paleth.
All right. He's going to come to here, and then he's going to say, "Let me respond to that," and he will. He is going to strike the ground with his thigh bone, and release a destructive wave.
Oh, what? No. Nah. Okay.
It's thematic, but now the neat thing about this is I can choose everybody in a 30-foot range to affect or not to affect. So I'm not going to affect Snorty, but I'll affect everybody else.
I was gonna use panache on him and talk him down and bring him on over because I can charm him with my charisma, and then we could have just knocked him out and tied him up. But yeah, you're unleashing your thunderbolt wave or
What's
whatever.
the shockwave do?
So you strike the ground, creating a blast of divine energy that ripples outward from you. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you must make a successful Constitution save or take 5d6 thunder damage and 5d6 radiant damage, and be knocked prone.
5d6.
Okay.
Creature that saves takes half as much damage and is left standing. The only one I'm going to spare is the leader.
Snorty.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and target them all and go ahead and do it?
I can do that. Hang on. All right, and let's see if this works here. Oh, it looks like I can cast this. Okay. Cast. And then
It's a
just gonna roll
lot
the
of
damage.
successes.
Yeah, well, a lot of things still up. What was who failed their save?
Looks like the guys who are in red. So this goblin big pack here.
It looks like it was just the goblin packs that failed. 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. 7, 8, 9. All right, you just got rid of them.
Yep.
Okay, and then so that's.
And the rest of them took damage, but not very much.
That's weird. Yeah, 12 and 18. I only did 15 points of damage to them. Okay. So with that, but hopefully that got Snorty's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And
so yeah, Snorty is standing on top of the ogre, and the shockwave goes out, and the ogre kind of reels back and forth, trying to maintain his stance, and he just kind of stands there stunned at what you just did.
Okay. I'll defer to Rolando to talk now to him.
Rolando. Orlando.
I said Rolando, didn't I? Or did I say
It's
Orlando?
Orlando Bloom.
Rolento.
Yeah, he goes. Rolando goes. Little one, please come down. We don't want to harm you. We want come with us. You're surrounded. There's an army all around you. If you come with us now and come peacefully, we won't hurt you. So
come where? Where am I supposed to come?
Back with us. I'm trying to use panache against him. So what I do is, if I share a language with the creature, I can make a charisma check against their wisdom, and if I succeed, then they're charmed for 1 minute and regard me as friendly. But it ends as soon as someone attacks them. So I want to charm them. Come over here. Come to us. Listen, we don't want to hurt you. Come over here, little one. So I'll roll a charisma, and it's against his wisdom.
Okay. Let's see. His wisdom is not going to be very high.
That picture is so accurate to what I imagine he looks like.
What's that?
Check the chat window.
Yeah.
That should be your character right there. Your character portrait.
Orlando Bloom. Okay.
In Pirates of the Caribbean. There you go. All right. So yeah, he fails.
Come down here, little friend. Come here. We don't want to harm you. Your camp's been wiped out. You're in no danger with us. Come over here.
So he kind of scrambles down the ogre, and he like puts out a hand back at the ogres and the remaining goblins, and as to steady them and make sure that they don't do anything. And so Snorty comes over and he says, "Well, you guys are clearly a bigger danger than what I was really worried about. So, I think you're the safer bet."
Yes, you're right. What is it that we should be aware of that has your attention?
Oh, it's my asshole brother. He sent me out to this place, and I can't stand him.
Yona shouts out, "Your asshole brother!"
You're Verdban.
Is that right next to your sister, asshole?
No, Verdum.
Verdun?
He's a jerk. He kicked me out of the main city, sends me out here, to be chief of this little place and makes me do the raids and do the dirty work. So
Well,
I've been doing all the work. He's been getting the glory.
seeing as how we're so friendly, and I think Verdon's a common enemy at this point for the two of us. Where would we find Verdon? If we wanted to just kind of push him around a little bit and say, this is on behalf of Snorty. Show him who he's made friends with out here.
Now, I can see the wisdom in you guys. You guys are smart guys, and I know that you can see that I'm better than my brother, and I got the shaft. My jerk brother, he's back in the old ancient city. But what's funny is there's something in the city that's killing his guys, and it's making his life a living hell. And so, him sending me out here as a punishment actually probably saved me and saved all of our guys until you guys came along and killed them all.
You don't say.
But I'm still alive. So there's a chance. Now, if you guys work with me, we could go back. I can show you back to the ancient city. And if you promise to overthrow my brother, help me overthrow my brother, I'll make any deal that you bring before me, as long as within reason. But I think
Would
we
you
can work
agree to
together.
stop all attacks against humankind?
All attacks? Like, all of them?
I'll lead over to Paleth and whisper, "This is only good for a minute. I'm going to knock him out right away."
Oh, okay. Paleth just shrugs. He's deferring. He shouldn't talk. He's deferring to Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando.
Sorry, that kind of stuck.
Rolando, just
Orlando.
like
I like Orlando better.
road warrior. Yeah, Rolando goes, "Oh yeah, of course we'll help you. Just come here, fall in line with the rest of our guys, and we'll look after you." And as Snorty starts to walk by, I'll just take the butt of his rapier and just kind of bring it down his head.
Yeah, so Snorty turns around and like looks at the ogres and be like, he looks at the main big older ogre that he climbed up on, and he says, "Bobo, what do you think? What do you think? Good idea?" And Bobo just kind of looks at him absentmindedly and like shrugs and like throws his hands out like he has no idea what's going on. And at that point, you club him over the head. He like keels over, and then the other ogres and remaining goblins come at you.
Is it inevitable? I shrug.
Do we get to roll initiative?
I shrug to the others. Are we ending here?
No, if you guys want to fight it out, we can fight out this.
Sure,
last one.
I'm good to do the combat. Oh, really? That's still 20.
Are the dryads still in play?
No, we can take them out.
Sorry, guys.
So,
It's not. It only lasted a minute. I had to do something.
What is the?
Got more information than I did.
Looking for my initiative.
Panache. It'll be
Some
fun
page.
talking and fighting.
Pretz, you're still with us?
Adam.
He's muted.
Yep, still here.
Your initiative, it's on the front
Hey,
page.
I rolled it.
You got an 8.
That's weird. It didn't show up in your box. I wonder why that was the case.
My it also says my hit points are 18, which they're not.
Yeah. Let me kill you out of this. And then drag and drop you again.
I died.
Okay. Is that better? Yeah.
Huzzah! Yep, that's my hit points.
Okay. Good. So Yana.
And you seem pretty agitated. I'm like, oh, I can't have that. I cast a spell at them. Which one? Ouch.
Wow, natural 20. Nicely done.
Take that, you big bully. Have at ye.
There's a cantrip?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Good. Anything else?
Move over here.
All right. And then the ogre. Bow launcher 2. Bobo is going to target Rolento.
Mm-hmm.
But he misses.
Rolento chuckles. He sidesteps, parries with his sword, and laughs at the ogre. Just kind of pokes him with his rapier. Not damaging him, but just like, ha ha, you silly thing. Go away.
All right. So you hear these huge bolts fly past your head, but you're missed. And Eldorn.
I'm gonna run forward
Oh, the new Eldorn. Let's see him in action.
to there. That's an move and dash action, and that's my turn.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, yeah, I'll just. That's it.
That's it?
Because I dashed.
Okay.
I don't have a bonus action really.
Rolento.
Rolento's going to go here, target this thing. That's the one that attacked him, I take it. The launcher.
Both of them are dude.
Okay. And he's going to return the favor. So
All right.
Sandra's on over, dances around him, stabs him in the gut. And with that, he disengages back here, parrying and dodging any blows that might come his way. Due to his fancy footwork, he gets to. I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage, or I'll just use my movement to go away, and then I got fancy footwork, so they don't get attacks of opportunity against me.
All right. Paleth.
Paleth will step up and he will play paddywhack with ogre. The ogre in the middle here. That's the one. That's the boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many attacks does Paleth get around? I don't recall how that works.
It's a cleric.
I think it's just one. I don't know if you get an extra.
One.
Does he ever get 2 attacks? I mean, I know he's got a special ability to do a second attack, but
Yeah,
okay.
I don't
think it's
think the
fighters
cleric
just get
does,
the additional
but I could be.
attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's the first attack then. It's a miss, and he'll use.
Fighters and monks.
Here's a second attack, which is a special ability, and 2 misses. Wow. Okay.
Good shooting techs.
Yeah.
Rolento's going to
All
go.
right.
You slayed a vampire and you can't hit an ogre?
All right. So the ogre Howda, he makes his own attack against Paleth. And he misses. And then thing is that there are goblins on his back
Mhm.
in his little fort. And so they are going to target Eldorn with their spears and short bows.
Eldoran, why are you so close to combat?
This is the new improved
Why
Eldorn.
wouldn't I be?
But he misses. So,
We're usually
Let's
like
see.
300 feet away.
Pretz.
So I'm going to cast Ice Storm. Can I only hit one kind of like ogre launcher group?
Don't know what's the scale. What's the size?
So it's like a 20-foot radius. So it'd be 20-foot radius would be quite big, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You could pretty much get the whole group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
you could throw it behind him, and that would hit the house, and then probably all 3 ogres.
We look like this.
How do I target all of them?
So you click control, and then left click your mouse button.
You have to do that for each one. Hold control and left click.
Mhm.
And then they
How do I
should
know?
they should list under your name on the combat tracker once you have them selected.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to click my token first. That's why. Okay.
I don't see that you've targeted any of them.
I have arrows and feet indicating, but I don't know if that's.
You have the combat tracker open.
Oh,
It's across swords on the menu.
The top right hand corner, the cross swords.
yeah, it's open now.
So go over each of them with
There
the
we go.
control now.
Yep. And then you got to do that for each one of them. Yep.
I think he's got it.
What's that?
Did you forget to target the goblins packs?
Yeah, you didn't hit the goblin packs either.
Damn
That's
it.
all right. Go ahead and roll. Roll your damage on the ice storm, and we'll see how much it does. You might be able just to wipe them out.
Aaron's hoping.
Woo-wee.
Well, you guys are rolling like massive amounts of dice anymore, so it's like, okay, make a roll and see if I have to figure it out.
Those guys never go. They can't still be green, really.
I didn't actually do all that much damage.
No. Did you just do
Yeah.
18 points of damage?
Yeah.
He killed one.
Yeah, he killed
Yeah.
one.
He killed
The
the
one
one
that
with 4
failed
hit points.
died.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. But I mean, the goblin packs are still up.
Well, he didn't target the goblin plaques, so I just tied in the. I added in their
There you go. Okay.
their hits. So there you go.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, it's not hard to believe that they have that much health when we ourselves have
Mhm.
60, 70, 80.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
scaled
that's
up,
Large
right?
creatures.
Ooh.
I want to see Eldorn in action, the new and improved Eldorn.
Maybe it'll still be alive when I get back around.
I bet one of the ogres will be.
I mean, I'm going to swing a sword at him. Woo! I swung a sword.
But you're like a Shadow Blade now, aren't you, or something? Or a Shadow
Swung
Dancer?
a sword. Hexblade.
Hexblade.
Want me to hex him so I can do extra damage? Ooh.
That's not right. What's going on? Why isn't this guy targeting? Oh, because I was pushing the wrong button. That's why.
He's dead.
Shift.
No,
Uh-oh.
not a hit.
Rolling to hit.
Nope. I've got an ability. Wait, stop. What did you roll to hit me? What was the final roll?
17 and an 18.
Because I took defensive duelist, which means if I get hit, I can add my proficiency bonus to my AC. So my AC goes up to 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay.
Is that applied to the attack that hit you, or to all incoming attacks?
It says only if hit, because I was going to just boost my AC as is. I guess I could, just so it's on there. But yeah, defensive duelist, add your proficiency bonus to your AC for that attack, if you're hit.
I mean, honestly, that makes no sense, because it would just... If you get hit because you didn't apply it, then you're going to apply it, and then you won't get hit.
Yeah, might as well just tack it onto my AC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, does it cost a reaction?
Oh, it does. So it'd only be one.
That's why.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
So
Only
the
one?
first one I avoided. The second one would hit me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, does it apply to more than one strike once you've done it? Like shield?
You only have one reaction, so...
Okay.
All right. So back to Yana.
So Yona is going to whisper something to his staff, and something fantastic happens over by Eldorn's head. This is a bonus action, by the way. So a great hawk shows up
and takes your hat.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and snatches the hat off your head and flies away.
What? I needed that.
Your mask that you wear.
Oh, he did not take my mask.
Does this count as terrain I can pass through, or is this all building here between me and the ogre?
No, you're small enough you can slide through there.
All right, I'm gonna hit this guy.
Big old ogre howda.
Hit him. Hit him. Used your hawk totem.
So I didn't hit him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get you next time.
How'd I hit back? All right. So now that the big oaf is in front of him, he's going to target Paleth with his fist, slams it into his chest, and takes another swipe at him with his other fist, because he's got two arms.
Of course.
And that's it.
How much? Hold on. How much damage?
It's like you took.
You use your stone skin.
Well, yeah. So the stone skin would reduce it to half, and then damage 6 and damage 8. So damage 4, damage 3.
Mm-hmm.
So she get back 7 points. So she'll only be down 7, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Eldorn.
So Eldorn, you feel keen, you feel awesome, you feel great. Roll with advantage.
Oh wow. Nice.
Caw.
So as a bonus action, I'm going to curse this guy, and I'm going to point my sword directly at him. And you'll see black shadows kind of swirl around him. He's got my Hexblade curse. And then I'll use my attack action to attack him a couple times.
Eldritch Blast. Eldritch.
I forgot to roll with advantage on my next one.
You
Doesn't
did a
really
crit
matter.
hit there.
Critical
Yeah.
hit.
Just take it.
Ooh, you get to critically
Do it.
hit on a 19.
Ooh, shitty damage.
You
Wow,
rolled a 1 and
Oh,
a
you
2,
know
but you
what?
still did 12.
No, re-roll that.
What?
Re-roll that one.
Why?
Oh wait, I don't have that. I forgot I took the other ability. Never mind.
I'll
That
use my
would've been
second
great.
attack with advantage, which is also a hit
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All right.
for 15 damage.
Definitely
Caleb is
tell that you
wondering what
put the
happened
hurt on
now.
the guy.
Who is this person?
who is this guy? It's not the same Eldorn I went through Barovia with.
He's like looking over and giving you the nod. He's like, all right.
That year off did a lot of
Right?
I'm gonna
How
go
did that
ahead.
little cheerleading chant help?
A Raven Queen. Oh, yeah, that helps.
I go ahead and dance over to this goblin pack. I'm gonna target them because with assassinate, if I attack a enemy who hasn't acted yet, I get advantage. So let's do that.
Have they not?
No, they're lower on the big boy has acted.
Did you copy that character from Pathfinder?
Yeah, I know, right? And
Well, it's dead.
stabby. So like the same thing as before, where dances around, stabs him. He's looking over at Paleth, like, you see this? You see this?
Caleb gives you the nod. Very impressive. All right. So Paleth once again will swing his mighty hip bone.
I rolled 3 1s. Ugh.
All right, here we go.
Saw a post on, I think it was on Reddit the other day, of a picture of a roll on Roll20
There we go.
Yeah.
where a guy had rolled a crease level, like a 4th or 5th level fireball, and had all 1s except for 2 2s. It was like 96, and it was all 1s.
He gets another 1 point on top of that of damage if you can add that, and then he's going to take a second swing. This time he's going to add +10 to his swing.
Okay.
So it hits without the +10, and then here's his damage. Huh.
All
right.
calls. Fear not, Paleth. I will finish him off for you.
Oh, kill stealer.
All right, so the Howdah is going to continue to target Paleth. He misses, though. And Pretz.
Fireball.
Prince is gonna kill Steel. Forget me.
Fireball, everybody.
Where was that like 10 minutes ago?
He was too cold, so.
Did not target them again?
No, didn't
Nope.
target them.
Did you target them in the combat tracker or on the thing?
How do I?
There, you
There
got
you
them
go.
now.
Do we?
There you go.
One more.
This is over if he fireballs them.
Maybe.
There you go.
You can roll 1.
I see
Failure.
3 failures.
All right.
Poof.
Let's see all those dice.
Good night. Oh, pretty.
Dying.
Goodbye.
There's a fireball spell in Zweihander where if you succeed, you rain fire down on your enemies. If you critically fail, you rain fire down on the nearest village and destroy it.
That sounds awful. Why would you ever risk casting that?
You could wipe out an army with it if you're successful.
The better thing about it is, at least with some of the spell classes, is when you cast a spell, you gain corruption. You like go towards the darkness.
Yeah.
Towards the chaos. Just for casting.
All right. So
Yeah.
you guys are able to kill off everybody except for Snorty, who is knocked out at Rolenta's feet. So we'll end the session here tonight and pick up here in a couple of weeks.
Couple
Is that
weeks.
correct?
I don't know. Is Nick gonna be running Deadlands next week? I'm not ready on Star Wars just yet.
Okay.
I'll need a few weeks.
I am. I think I should be able to run next week. But I'll let you know a little bit closer to time.
Sounds good. All right.
It's
But
really late. I gotta hop. Aaron, thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks,
No
Aaron.
problem. Thank
Good
you.
night, guys.
And
Mhm.
Oak, thanks for watching us the
Thank
whole
you.
time. You were like our one steady viewer. Thank you.
He's asleep.
No, he was just typing in chat with his Zweihander reference.
All right.
All right. Have a good
So
night, everybody.
walking.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yep. Thank you.